India is still trying to tell Pakistan to get the message to de-escalate, but if Pakistan does not de-escalate from here, Zaka, Indian government sources are telling me that we will also not stop now, and Pakistan will be taught a lesson.
All right, so our reporters are spread across the length and breadth. Ishan is joining us from Srinagar. Akash is joining us from Jammu. In Delhi, we have Arunima and Siddhant joining us from South Block. There's going to be a briefing by the Foreign Secretary at 10 a.m. Last 3 days, the briefing has been done by the Foreign Secretary along with the two young women officers of the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. Siddhant is also joining us from South Block. What are you hearing, Siddhant, in terms of what the MEA has to say? The briefings have been going on by the Foreign Secretary. Any word you're picking up on, our international players trying to intervene? I believe there was a statement put out by the G7. The Saudi Deputy Foreign Minister, who was here in Delhi a couple of days ago, he was in Islamabad yesterday. And this visible upping the ante by Pakistan has happened after the announcement of the IMF, the bailout announcement of $1 billion. What are you hearing from MEA?
Well, that's right, Zaka. In fact, just a short while back, Zaka, we have been told that press briefing by Foreign Secretary, which was expected to take place at 10 a.m., has again got delayed. In fact, they have told us that they're going to inform us again when and where this press briefing will take place today. Perhaps, as Arunima was also pointing out, that the ops are still going on. The focus is on Sky at this point in time, Zaka. And in fact, yesterday, India also decided to close Kartarpur corridor, Zaka. Perhaps that was an announcement which Foreign Secretary made, because India knew that this is coming. This is coming. The time Pakistan will secure the bailout package from IMF, they are gonna hit us. Day before yesterday, Zaka, what happened post midnight? Perhaps they sent more than 300 UAVs. Perhaps we have also been told that those UAVs were not even loaded, were not even armed. Those UAVs were only sent to locate our air defense systems. Perhaps we knew about it, and we did not use our best of the systems in place. In fact, we shot them down using aircraft gun. This is what I'm being told. In fact, since then, India was preparing that what they did day before yesterday was a recce visit. Perhaps they are going to hit India, and they could target forward bases, Pathankot, Jammu, etc., those locations. So India was fully prepared for it. As you rightly pointed out, at a diplomatic level, perhaps India is not escalating. Foreign Secretary again reiterated yesterday that the first and the only escalation was the 22nd April attack in Pahalgam. India is only responding to the escalation by Pakistan. In fact, yesterday in the press briefing also, Foreign Secretary highlighted, Zaka, that how religious sites have been targeted in Poonch. There's a convent school which has been targeted.
Yes, I'm going to come back to you. We're getting more information, courtesy Manoj Gupta, our investigations editor, that a bunch of missiles have been fired. I can't reveal the exact number, but a bunch of missiles have been fired from the Srinagar air base. That too, Pakistan has tried to attack, but there is very minimal damage that has happened there. So from the Srinagar air base, missiles have been sent, and a Pak Air Force jet, at least one we can confirm, possibly more than one, but definitely one Pakistan Air Force jet has been shot down by missiles that have been sent from the Srinagar air base. So that is a big development. One Pakistan Air Force jet being downed by India. Remember, Pakistan has a combination of the F-16s, which are the American fighter jets, the fourth generation fighter jet, and also a combination of the JF-17 and the J-10. The JF-17 is the 4.5 generation Chinese fighter jet, and the J-10 the fourth generation fighter jet. So it's a combination of Chinese as well as American military jets, fighter jets that the Pakistan Air Force has. We don't know which of this has been brought down, but at least two Pakistani Air Force jets have been downed by India in missile strikes that have been launched from the Srinagar Air Force Station. Arunima, what more details are you hearing? There was supposed to be an army briefing earlier this morning. I believe there wasn't much information that came from there, but at 10 o'clock, the Foreign Secretary is expected to brief the press. But this big development that we are breaking right now on our screen, at least two Pakistani Air Force fighter jets have been brought down by missiles that have been fired from the Srinagar Air Force Station.
I think this was the air operation which led to the delay and subsequent postponement of the briefing. We got a message early in the morning around 5 a.m., quarter to 5, that by 5:30 there will be a briefing in the lawn, which you can see in my frame in South Block. But when we reached here, we were told that the air operations were still on and there were intense operations that were going on, and therefore it's not feasible to brief and put out the correct picture at this stage because it was a developing situation, it was an ongoing situation. We were also told that while the entire focus is on the sky, it's the air operations which are giving a bloody nose to Pakistan. On ground, there is intermittent firing that is going on along the line of control. And now I'm hearing that in Rajouri, there is intense artillery fire. Some civilian houses in Dhangri have also taken the hit. So Pakistan is trying to cater to its own domestic constituency by targeting civilians. First, they have targeted civilians in Poonch. Now, similar exercise going on in Uri and in Rajouri as well. So while their air assets are being taken down after their misadventure, they're trying to respond on the ground by artillery firing, which is also being responded to very strongly by the Indian Defence Forces.
All right, so there's going to be a briefing. We know that 2 Pakistani fighter jets have been shot down by India. What these jets are, I think we should hold back on that, at least the make of these jets, what these jets are. But definitely 2 fighter jets of the Pakistan Air Force have been brought down by missiles that have been fired by India. All right, we're going ahead and saying that these are Pakistani F-16s. I want to be very, very responsible, very measured and restrained in our reporting that India has shot down 2 Pakistan Air Force jets. Despite all of this fog of war and all of this confusion that happened a couple of nights ago, we can now report to you early Saturday morning there has been a dramatic escalation, clearly an attempt by Pakistan to climb up the escalation ladder. They have gone up a couple of notches, a couple of rungs in that escalation ladder. India has responded measure for measure. Pakistani Air Force jets, 2 F-16s, have been shot down by missiles that have been launched from the Srinagar Air Force Station. Akash, what are you hearing from your top defense sources? PAF aircraft down.
I have no independent confirmation on that. Manoj Gupta is bringing us this input where, he has been reporting that how 2 F-16s, have been in fact brought down by the Indian Air Force. So we'll wait for the official confirmation as well. But this is big, Zaka. This is big. We have seen that how, F-16 was very much there, a part of the sort of, activities that happened in 2019 when the dogfight actually happened between MiG-21 and F-16. And even at that time, we know the whole episode of Wing Commander Abhinandan, but this time around, we are learning that, we have shot down these F-16s. I'll check for with the Air Force as well for the independent confirmation. But Manoj Gupta has been reporting that how 2 F-16s, in fact, have been downed by, the Indian Air Force. In fact, we have got several sort of videos, that are, in fact, somewhere confirming, the debris and, in fact, some sort of smoke, coming from a distant place. Ishan has been reporting this. But it is big, Zaka, given the fact that Pakistan Air Force, consider, itself as a superior force. They have always challenged, Indian armed forces and, in fact, Indian Air Force specifically for the dogfight because they think that their machines are superior, their training is superior. And this is one development where, it is a slap on their face where, they have been trying the military establishment, military infrastructure in different places. Here in India, none of, them is successful. But this time around, we are learning that in Srinagar, at least 2 F-16 aircraft have been downed by the Indian Air Force, Zaka.
So 2 Pakistan Air Force jets have been downed by the missiles that have been hit by the missiles from the Srinagar Air Force Station. So bringing you up to speed, the big picture that Pakistan has escalated over the last 6 or 7 hours post-midnight after the announcement by the International Monetary Fund that they were releasing the tranche of $1 billion, part of the $7 billion package that Pakistan has managed to procure from the IMF, emergency bailout money. Right after that, and right after the Deputy Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia left last night, there's been a dramatic escalation by Pakistan. Multiple attempts at forward air bases, at Air Force stations from Jammu to Pathankot, which is one of the biggest Air Force stations in northern India. In fact, it is bang on the border with Pakistan. It was also the scene of the terrorist attack that happened in 2016. We're also learning that the Sirsa Air Force Station was also one of the targets of attack. But all of that, the Udhampur military station, all of that has been thwarted by India's air defense systems. And now in retaliation, India is hit and brought down 2 Pakistan Air Force jets. They've been brought down over Srinagar, is what we're given to understand. These are deferred visuals we're getting from Udhampur, and the visuals that you're seeing on the left side is India attacking the Noor Khan Air Base, which used to be called the Chaklala Air Base earlier, hosts a big military college as well. It's very close to the general headquarters, the heart of the Pakistani military. There's been a massive attack there on the Noor Khan Air Base by India in retaliation to what Pakistan tried to do overnight. Let me go back to Aman, Arunima, reporters. Aman, again, as we await the Foreign Secretary's briefing in about 3 hours' time, what's the word that you're getting in from our top defense sources? India, of course, wanting to be absolutely certain that we are the responsive authority here. We're responding to the escalation by Pakistan. It is Pakistan that is choosing to climb the escalation ladder.
Zaka, and what government sources are also saying that we were prepared for this. We knew that a major attack by Pakistan will happen. We were very, very clear that the drone attacks which were happening, on Friday night, we also saw these big drone attacks. This was mainly, Friday morning, was mainly to assess our air defense preparedness. Pakistan was waiting for the IMF bailout. This information and this intel was there with the government that the Pakistan will only launch its big strike after the IMF bailout process is over, and that is what has happened absolutely in the way India anticipated. India's defense system was at an all-time high early this morning also, and we were anticipating this to happen. That is very, very clear. India is also saying that this upping of this escalation by firing these Fatah series missiles, not just on our forward air bases like Pathankot and Jammu and Udhampur, but also at our major cities, especially Delhi, is a major escalation by Pakistan. This shows that Pakistan's intentions are not good. We have to safeguard our territory, we have to safeguard our assets, and that is why we've hit at the heart of the Pakistani army in Rawalpindi, the Chakala Air Base, a very secure facility inside Pakistan which India has managed to hit. This shows that India is giving this warning to Pakistan that you need to stop here, because if you escalate further, India then will not stop, because India considered Operation Sindoor as it's a major operation, in retaliation to what happened on April 22nd in Pahalgam. But this is now showing that Pakistan, Zaka, is in no mood to stop, and India is responding in equal measure.
So there's also visuals we're showing on the top right of your screen, which is from Jammu. It's a Shambhu temple. There's debris of a projectile that you can see strewn all over the place. This is just on the outer perimeter of the temple. Let me also go to Arunima. Arunima, who's in South Block for us. Arunima, what are you hearing? What are you hearing from your top government sources? This Pakistani jets being downed, is a huge statement by India. Pakistan Air Force jets that have been shot down over Srinagar airspace. But the attempt by Pakistan to try and target some of our forward military stations, forward air bases, that has been thwarted. And in response, India has targeted, among others, the Noor Khan Air Base or the Chaklala Air Base, which is one of the biggest that Pakistan has. Also the Chakwal, the Murid Air Base, again in Punjab. And you also have one more, the Rafiki Air Base. 3 air bases of Pakistan have been targeted in missile strikes by India. What more do you have?
Yes, so Zaka, they had put out a statement late last night saying that 26 places were targeted, and they're just sticking to that for now as far as official word goes. Yes, they have told us that the intense air operations are going on, but on that specific input that Manoj Gupta has about India taking down a Pakistani jet, the South Block is not confirming that as yet, and understandably so perhaps, because even day before yesterday night there was intense speculation that similarly a Pakistani jet had been down and a Pakistani pilot had been taken into custody, but India has remained non-committal. They've not confirmed, not come on record on that. So in this case also, I think they will take their time, and once they are ready to share the details, only then will they come out with an official confirmation. Because of course, even though both sides officially are just calling this a conflict, the terminology of war is not being used officially. The fact is that if that is the situation, and if you have someone in your custody, then the Geneva Convention will apply. prisoner of war rules will apply. That perhaps is the reason why they're calibrating their next step. But Manoj Gupta is learning that the air operations has resulted in one more bloody nose for Pakistan. Their top of the line asset, their top of the line aircraft has been down. We're not taking the names and the details as yet, but there is worrying news coming in from the line of control as well. Intermittent firing is targeting civilian population there in Rajouri, in Poonch, in Uri. It has been on and off. Intermittent is what we've seen over the last 3 hours. But while India is giving them a bloody nose in the sky, they're trying to retaliate by taking out their frustration on civilians.
All right, Arunima, stay on with us. So if you're joining us at 7 o'clock, top of the hour this Saturday morning, it's been a hot night between India and Pakistan, both along the line of control as well as the international border. But the important one is the air attacks. There have been attempts by Pakistan to try and neutralize some of our forward air stations, forward military bases. Let's look at what Pakistan has attempted to do, and I'll get to what India has done, and successfully at that, in response to that. Udhampur is the headquarters of the Indian Army's Northern Command. The attempt there has been to try and neutralize the Air Force station. It's a smaller Air Force station there. Pathankot is one of the biggest. In fact, it is our forward air base. It's spread over 2,000 acres. Multiple, squadrons of our fighter jets are stationed there. It was the scene of the 2016 terror attack. Again, that has been foiled by India. In Jammu too, the Air Force station there, the Pakistanis tried to try and neutralize. Why is this happening at the level of the Air Force stations? That is the first line of defense. When countries go into conflict, when states go into conflict, the first attempt is to try and neutralize the ability of the enemy to scramble his jets. That's what Pakistan attempted to do. Sirsa too, again part of the Western Command, is one of our big Air Force bases, stationed to squadrons of the fighter jets. This is what Pakistan was attempting to do. In response, what has India done? India too has targeted Pakistan's forward air bases. Let's get out that second map. What India has done in response to what Pakistan tried to do. And you look at this map, what stands out are the air stations that India has attempted to take out. And you can see those pictures as well from the Noor Khan Air Base in Rawalpindi. This is one of the biggest air bases that Pakistan has. It played a role in the 1965 and 1971 wars as well. This was earlier called the Chaklala Air Base. It is right in the heart of Rawalpindi. The general headquarters, Rawalpindi, is not too far from the air base. In fact, there is a famous Pakistan military college that's housed inside the Chaklala Air Base. It's now been renamed as the Noor Khan Air Base. You saw those pictures recorded by an individual, a civilian there, looking up at the big cloud of fire and smoke going up at the Noor Khan Air Base. Then further south, the Chakwal Air Base, it's called the Murid Air Base, again was active in the 65 and the 71 wars. The Chakwal Air Base too has been hit successfully by India. And then you have a smaller one in Sialkot. It's called the Rafiki Air Base. Again, a lot of transport aircraft, the C-130s, the Il-76s, they've been housed in some of these air bases. The Sialkot Air Base in southern Punjab has been hit as well. And Sukur, which is a civilian defense technical airport, Sukur has also been hit in Sindh. So basically in the heart of Punjab as well as in Sindh, these are the two biggest provinces in Pakistan. They have been successfully hit by Indian Army and by Indian Air Force. So what happens when a conflict begins? The first attempt by both parties is to try and take out the other side's air bases, because the ability not to be able to scramble jets, that is a significant tactical advantage in any conflict. So the attempt by both sides has been to try and take out each other's air bases, particularly forward air bases, render the runway unusable. That is the attempt. Once the runway becomes unusable, then it's difficult to scramble your jets, and thereby you are taking off a tactical advantage that the enemy has. That's what India has done last night to some of these forward air bases in Pakistan. Noor Khan, of course, this will have huge ramifications that are running through general headquarters, the military headquarters of Pakistan. Pakistan's attempts, whether it's in Udhampur, in Pathankot, in Jammu, in Sirsa, have been thwarted, and India in response has carried out significant damage to some of the air assets that Pakistan is hosting. Akash is there with us from Jammu. Ishan is there with us from Srinagar. Arunima in South Block. Siddhant is also joining us from South Block. Akash, first things first, the Jammu Air Force Station, Pakistan did try to take down the Jammu Air Force Station and render the runway unusable, but that has been thwarted by India. What are you hearing from what attempts have been made by Pakistan overnight and what India's response to that has been?
Zaka, possibly they have been trying the batteries, the air defense batteries, because the locations, I will not specify, but the locations that they have been trying, are, somewhere carrying the air defense batteries and the systems, and they want to, destroy the air defense system, given the fact that, yesterday it was done by India. Last night also they tried several Air Force stations, but they failed in that, and in fact, after India retaliating back, they are trying it once again in the morning. We have been learning about Pathankot, that how they tried Pathankot Air Force Station. We have been learning about Udhampur and also in Jammu. In Jammu, I was hearing sounds till 30 minutes back, but now it seems that it has stopped. And in fact, civilian population was on target as well, because they want to, spread panic here in India, because, their narrative on social media seems not working. Indian Air Force and in fact Indian Army or the armed forces for that matter are coming up with official statements. We have been seeing the briefings on a daily basis, and in fact Indian media is acting responsibly, and this is the reason why Pakistan is frustrated and they want to spread panic. They are targeting civilian population as well. We have seen Firozpur, we have seen today Jammu as well, that how there was some sort of destruction in the civilian area. As far as the air defense system is concerned, so we have been reporting that how they are targeting the airstrips, not just airstrips, so that jets cannot be scrambled, but also the Air Force air defense systems. S-400 we have been reporting about S-400. We have been reporting about Akash, Pechora, and everything else related to it. There is an open source information that is available. A maximum of it is not true, but yes, we won't reveal the exact details and the specific details. But they have been trying air defense systems. We have been learning about ceasefire violations at the LC in different areas in Rajouri and Poonch specifically, where fighting was on till 10 minutes back, and we have been learning about Kashmir as well. Manoj Gupta is talking about their fighter jets, in fact, down by Indian Air Force. We will be looking for some more confirmation on that as well. But yes, it is big development where they have been failing in every of their attempt. But Indian Air Force, Indian Armed Forces have not only hit them, in their house, but also, have been, destroying their jets and also the drones that they have been sending.
Okay, Akash, stay on with us. Ishan is also joining us. But before I go to him, we can report to you that the Air Force station in Udhampur is safe. The Jammu Civil and Technical Airport, both are safe. Pakistan has been targeting civilians. We're given to understand, and we saw those pictures of the Shambu